Hello, welcome back to Sage and Stone Homestead. My name is Heather, this is Farrell, and we are officially 1 week into the $50 February challenge. So real quick, if you don't know what that is, essentially we were challenged to only spend $50 in groceries for the month of February. So because our family size is a little bit bigger, we have 4 children, we were allotted $150 to spend in February. The challenge was to encourage us to use much more of what we put away over the course of the year, and it's working out really well. So we'll go over what I spent in groceries this week and exactly what I got, and then after that we'll go over the dinners that I've been making this week. So you can kind of see how we are able to use up our farm in everyday meals. We had decided that we were going to do things a little bit differently as far as the challenge goes. We are going to include things from our pantry that are from the grocery store because we did use our farm to put those things there. We sell a lot of dairy goats, we sell a lot of meat rabbits, and we work really hard to put in our pantry what is already in there. So you're gonna see some things that we didn't grow, but we like to use grocery store items to supplement what we do grow here. So here is our grocery store haul, and then we'll be back to talk about all of the things that I made this week. So in total, our budget for the month of February is $150. And so that works out to be about $37.50 per week. And we are very fortunate to live very, very close to a discount grocer. It's an Amish grocery store, and we can get a lot of really great things at very, very discounted prices. So this is what we bought this week. I thought throughout the challenge it'd be kind of fun to show you what we're able to get with our smaller budget, in hopes that would encourage some of you to try to find little Easter eggs like this in your community, because what we paid at our discount grocer here locally is far, far cheaper than what we would have paid at the big box stores or even through places like Thrive Market or Azure Standard. So I'm gonna go through the numbers here in a little bit, but in total this week I paid $32.31 this week, and so we were under budget, which I kind of expected to be in the first week, and so it's kind of nice to be able to roll that in at the end when we might be scraping a little bit more, but we did get some really good deals today, so let's go over that. It's actually been quite a while since we have seen a good quality corn chip at our favorite grocery store, and they happen to have a really good one today. So we picked up these late July multigrain sea salt and lime chips. We grow a lot of tomatoes, and we've made a lot of salsa, and you can put salsa on chicken and things, and you can cook with salsa in many different ways, but there's nothing like just eating salsa with a good corn chip. And so we plan to do a lot of that. There are, I think, 12 bags, 12 7.5-ounce bags in the case that we bought, and we only paid $6 for the whole case. On Azure Standard, the case costs $36.61, so we got more than $30 off just on those chips. And the reason probably is that they just expired, but they're not going to be stale at this rate. It expired January 2023. The next little bulk thing that we got are these harvest snaps. Our kids love them. It was a pack of 6 for $3, and locally at Target that would have been $12 for 6 packs. So we got a good deal on those too. These layered dips, the closest thing I could find to us that was a comparable size was $5.99 each. We paid 59 cents each, so it was a good 10% of the normal price. And the next biggest, or maybe it's the biggest deal that we got out of the whole trip today was we bought this 5-pound soft salami. Levi tasted it and he said that it's basically like salami and bologna had a baby. And I found the exact roll of salami online, and it was $33.97 for the 5-pound loaf. We paid $5.99. So we got a really great deal there too. And all of this is really going to help supplement our farm very well this week. I don't cook every single meal. I do my best to cook dinner and put a lot of thought into dinner. I'm not always great at that. Tonight we had scrambled eggs for dinner, and sometimes that is how life is. So usually I try to have things on hand that are kind of quick grabs for especially lunch. Breakfasts are really easy. We can do eggs. I've got bagels here. We make kefir. That kind of stuff is easy to put together. But lunches are a little harder for me. Oftentimes the kids put the lunch together themselves, and that's where the salami and some of these crunchy things come into play. So I didn't buy any cheese this week. We are basically out of cheese. I have a little bit of Parmesan cheese in the fridge that we can use. So I'm planning on using about 2 gallons of milk in the next couple days to make some more mozzarella cheese, and we'll be using that this week. And I've already made some coffee creamer, or it's actually caramel. I made some cajeta out of our goat's milk and our honey. It is so delicious. So I didn't have to buy any coffee creamer today, which I normally would have, so that's pretty awesome. All right, so I've got my phone out because I sent my husband photos of all of the dinners that we've had this week, so I'm using it as a cheat sheet, and I'll make sure to put those photos up on the screen. February 1st, we had barbecue pork, which was actually pork given to us by our friends. It's wild boar, and it is delicious. We made the barbecue sauce with our own tomatoes and peppers, and I threw in a little bit of tromboncino squash and a little bit of dehydrated tomatoes just to add a little bit of texture, and this was wonderful. February 2nd was my favorite meal this week. We had goat steaks with green beans that were actually from our 2021 garden. Last year, our garden really didn't produce well as far as beans go. It did really well with tomatoes and peppers, but thankfully we put a lot of beans away in 2021, and those are still feeding us today, and we're very grateful for that. February 3rd was a really easy day. We had scrambled eggs for dinner. Our chickens are starting to lay really well again because, you know, the weather's getting warmer and the days are getting longer. So usually during the peak egg laying times, we're having eggs at least once a day for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. February 3rd, it was for dinner. February 4th was a ground turkey pesto with pasta. I had accidentally cooked way too much pasta, and so you don't really see a lot of pesto there, but we made the pesto with the basil from our garden, which is awesome, and we did raise that turkey. February 5th, we actually were invited out to dinner at my husband's grandfather's house, and their family served a lamb stroganoff, and that was delicious, and I didn't happen to get a picture. But it's the same day that we went and picked up Farrell, so I did get a picture of Farrell in a diaper inside Levi's grandpa's house. And February 6th, we ate rabbit salad, which is a lot like chicken salad, except you use rabbit. So that's one of our favorite ways to use up our canned rabbit. I like to put in relishes into my chicken or rabbit salads. It adds a great acidity, and we made that relish, I think, in 2020. So it was kind of good to clear that off of the shelf. And we served that with the corn chips that we bought from the store. And then last night, I made some chicken that I dug out of the back of the freezer. These were chickens that we raised in 2020, according to the label. They were absolutely delicious, and we served that with coleslaw from cabbages that we grew last year. And then we had some stuffing, because I just love me a good boxed stuffing. It's just one of those things. And that chicken, the seasoning that I put on it was amazing, and it was actually just one of those dry Italian seasoning packets sprinkled over, and it was absolutely amazing. So guys, 1 week down, 3 weeks to go. I think it's going to get harder and harder from here on out. I did not make any bread this week, which is kind of unusual. I am waking up my sourdough starter. She's been kind of dormant in the fridge for a little bit, but I'm going to be making a lot more sandwich bread this week, and I did get a jar of sprouts made, so I plan to have a little bit more fresh greens on our plates for this week. Usually we like to have a lot more fresh greens than you're seeing there, but our greenhouse, if you've been following us for a little bit, half of it got eaten up by rodents this year, and the other half died in that really hard freeze that we had, and so we don't have as many fresh greens as we usually do this time of year. But that's where the sprout jar comes in, and we've been really loving having our sprouts. They really do not completely make up for, but they really make the blow of losing all of that produce out of our greenhouse a little bit more tolerable. And if you'd like to hear more about how we make our sprouts here at our farm, I'm going to link this video right here. And if you missed hearing all about this little dude, I'll leave his video down here too. You ready to go back? I think he loves me now.